Hey guys, welcome back to the Hit Up Rugby League. Today I'm joined as usual by Liam and Josh. How's it going, guys?
Yeah, good mate. Good mate. How are we going?
Good. Just trying to sort out this great laptop we've got for today. It's a bit glitchy. It takes like 10 seconds to click on something, but yeah, looking forward to tomorrow night's game.
2000s, mate.
I don't know if I'll stay up for tomorrow night. It's like 10:15 start. It's ridiculous. I'm like, that's punishing.
Terrible. Yeah.
Pretty hectic. But yeah, so basically what we're going to be doing today, guys, is we're going to be giving our predictions on tomorrow night's game, have a bit of talk about it, and then we're actually going to do a combined team that we all make up together. So there should be a lot of debates. And yeah, I'm pretty excited for this one. So what's your prediction for the score and first try scorer tomorrow night, Josh?
I was sort of debating this. I've looked at the history a bit in Sydney. Queensland haven't won in Sydney for 5 years, all this sort of stuff. So I think normally game ones are either really high scoring or really low scoring, but I've not listened to that history at all, and I've gone for an 18-10. Oh, do you want what do you want the score and first try scorer and not who wins?
Oh, say who wins as well.
Oh, okay. I think New South Wales 18-10. Xavier Coates first try scorer. Yeah. So I said that it's either low scoring or high scoring, and I've gone just for a normal average scoring game. So yeah, who knows?
What have you got on this one, Liam?
Yes, I've gone similar but a bit different to Josh. So obviously I think New South Wales is going to take game one out. I'm a bit heartbroken with this choice, but looking at the teams, it just looks like they're gonna take this one out. And especially with the stats, as you said, they haven't won in about 5 years, which is in Sydney, which is crazy. So I've actually got the score down as NSW winning in a high-scoring game of 32-12. And my first try scorer is going to be Brian To'o.
Let's go.
Can't go too wrong, Brian. No.
Yeah, we'll just see if they give him the ball.
Yeah, sure. So I've actually gone a different route. I've gone Queensland 16-12, and I also had Xavier Coates' as first try scorer. So
wow, awesome.
That makes me feel a lot more confident in my prediction that someone else said that. I saw an Instagram post.
Well, I was actually gonna go Gagai, but then I was like, fuck it, I'll just what?
Oh, I saw an Instagram post today. I don't know if it's true, but apparently they were trying to give away Queensland versus New South Wales tickets. I don't know how true that was, but
really,
yeah.
No one wants to buy them.
Well, it's going to be an interesting game. I actually should have researched it a bit more because Xavier Coates on To'o's side. I was going to do whoever To'o was marking, they were going to score, but I didn't. I just guessed Coates, to be honest, but who knows?
Yeah, I think he would be because they brought Daniel Tupou, not Cobbo.
Yeah. I feel like it's definitely going to be bombs galore from Cherry Evans, especially just to fucking... That's why Addo-Carr, obviously, I don't think made it, because the height difference with Cobbo and Coates would have been a bit too, especially in an Origin game where tries sometimes can be hard to get and defenses are better. But yeah.
I saw an Instagram, I think it was like a week ago or something, about saying how they were just practicing Brian To'o's catching on that wing. They were just like, the whole training was just about him catching the ball to try and practice those bombs that Cherry Evans is going to pop at him because they know it's going to be coming. So we'll see if the practice paid off.
That's a bonus for Queensland as well, having Cherry Evans taking over the kicking, because that gives Munster the control to just run the ball and do what he does best. So yeah, I think Queensland are in for a good game.
Well, at least one of us has got some optimism, Connor.
I'm feeling over the moon confident, eh? We got experience. I think I saw the stat, it was like 115 games combined to like 80 something. So that's a pretty good stat.
So do you think it's an easy $40 bet then?
You see, I don't really bet on my teams too often because I seem to lose, but I think I can make an exception for Origin.
Game one's always just such a coin flip, like you never really know what's going to happen. And it's a tough, I want to really back New South Wales, but I actually am quite worried about this Queensland side. Before the series, I was like, oh, we'll beat them pretty easily. But when I actually saw the teams next to each other, I'm like, fuck, the forwards are actually quite good for Queensland. And I know what it's like with New South Wales running game, especially the year 2020 when we couldn't get out of our own end. I was a bit worried about that. So it's a pretty exciting game one. Like, I feel like it's quite even. Like, it's quite even. Let's just say that.
Now, I was always thinking of this question that I wanted to ask you guys on the podcast. If you had to choose between game 1, 2, or 3 to watch, what game would you rather go to? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
It honestly depends. Like, if the series 2-0, like, you don't want to go watch a game 3.
Yeah.
So if it's a decider, yeah, it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I think game 1 would be the safest bet, but game 2 you could see if a team's up 1-0 and they win, you could say you saw them win State of Origin, but also game 3 is risky.
But then again, they only get the shield after game 3, so it's not like it's a.
Well, I was actually the TAB odds are actually New South Wales. Currently, this is New Zealand, by the way, so the Aussies don't say that I'm wrong because I'm right. New South Wales $1.60 and Queensland $2.30. And the over-under, they expect it to be a low-scoring game. It's 35.5 for the points in the game. So they're expecting Liam's 32, 12 or whatever. That could be a good bet for Liam to put if he backs it.
Yeah. I will. That's an easy $5.
And Connor and I have actually bet on the second favourite for first try scorer. It goes, Liam went with the first, Toto's $8.50. Then Coates at $9.50 and Tupou at Tupou at 10, sorry. So yeah.
I was debating whether or not Tupou would have scored first, but I don't think I don't know. Yeah, well, I decided to go tall in the end. Those are my two that I was deciding between.
I have one more quick question before we get into this combined team. So obviously both teams have a few new players in their squads. Who is one player out of either team that you are most excited to watch?
Liam?
You know what? I'll go one from each. I hope Nanai gets a go on from Queensland. I think he's been done really well, especially how young he is this year for the Cowboys. And I think if he got some game time, even if it was 20 minutes, not even that would still give him a lot of confidence going into the rest of the season with the Cowboys. And also one player from NSW I want to see he's on the bench, but Stephen Crichton. I think he's been exceptional for the Panthers. And so, yeah, it would be great to see him on the field as well, because both of them would be making their debuts. Am I correct? Yeah. So it'd be awesome to see those two debuts.
Yeah, I was going to say Crichton as well, to be honest, because there is talk that it's all a ploy from Fittler. He's done this before, that made a talking point out of he's playing 14 when apparently he's going to play starting centre, and Whiten's going to actually be on the bench. He just did it as a bit of a mind games thing and there was another story that it's because where all those guys are from, To'o Cleary and Crichton, the area code's number 14. Apparently that's got something to, I don't know, that surely isn't true, but apparently that's another reason. And Fittler's from that region as well. So I was looking forward to Crichton, and I think Cotter could actually be, I'm not going to go into we still got to do our player of the match predictions for the combined 11, but going into someone's player of the match, I think Ruben Cotter could actually, he's built for Origin, and that's probably one of my biggest worries for New South Wales is that he can play 80 minutes as a prop. He's playing lock for this game, but he's an Origin player, and yeah, it's pretty scary for a New South Wales fan.
Could be interesting. Josh loves his little stats before the games and that. He loves researching into it.
Yeah, like one quote I love is that you have to lose an Origin series to win an Origin. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this Origin series. But yeah, spoiler alert. My player of the match is Reuben Connor. He's just built for Origin. He plays 80 minutes every single week. He runs as hard as he does in the first minute and the 80th. Like, the kid's a stud. He's built for it.
Yeah.
Well, so by that saying, Billy Slater has to lose an Origin series to win one first. So you guys could be in trouble.
I do think
a lot's been talked about that. Do you guys think that Origin, you really need coaching? You've got the 17 best players in your state. Do you really need elite level coaching? These guys know how to play league. Do you think you actually need high level coaching, or do you reckon it needs to be like a Wayne Bennett or something?
I don't think you need too high a coaching. I just think you need someone that can get the boys together. You know, like, you're in a weekend camp with players that you've never played with before. You kind of need a bond. So I think a good move from Billy Slater was sending the Queensland boys to the Cowboys versus Titans game. I think that was like, they got to sit in the box, bond, watch a bit of footy from the box. Like, that would be like sick if you're in the team.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, it's like there's a story from like 20, 30 years ago. Tommy Raudonikis, he was brand new coach in New South Wales, and they had like 10 new debutants, and they didn't know each other. So he said, okay, guys, first 2 nights of camp, we're going out to town and we're all drinking together both first 2 nights. I don't care if we lose game 1, but we got to get to know each other to win an Origin series. So stuff like that, it's getting the cohesion of the team, which is one reason why I think New South Wales should be all right with how many Panthers they have. I think it's 7 or 8 Penrith Panthers players. So, yeah. Should we get on to our player of the matches, Liam? Who have you got?
Yeah, I was actually debating between Reuben Cotter and Damien Cook, just because I think both of them are Origin type of players, and as Connor said, they just perform well throughout Origin. But I've gone with Damien Cook just because I think New South Wales are going to take out game 1 and they'll give it to the winning team. So so that's what.
He's probably got the most to play for, because they obviously World Cup year for Australia, and they said Harry Grant's going to play hooker instead of him. He's lost his number 9 spot for Australia, so he's probably got one of the biggest points to prove in this Origin series. If he can do that, maybe get his number. Like, he hasn't lost his number 9 jersey, but that's what people are thinking, that Harry Grant's obviously going to take over. I've sort of gone in a similar vein, but not really. I think this guy's going to play. I think he definitely should be the Australian halfback, but there's still talk about DCE or Cleary, who's going to be the Australian halfback come the end of the season. So I've just gone with the basic. I think it's probably definitely the favourite on the TAB, surely. I've gone with Nathan Cleary. I just think, or he's just, his kicking game we saw it in the grand final last year. He can just do shit like that, you know?
Yeah, most definitely. That's a good pick there. Safe bet there as well.
Yeah, it's either him or Tedesco for me. I'm like, I'm going to try and get this right.
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't even know if you can bet on the player of the match actually for Origin, but I'll get back to you guys on that.
I think you can through like the Bet 365 or like those Australian betting.
Oh, Williams on the black markets.
Yeah, I don't think in the TAB, which is over here in New Zealand, I don't think you can do that.
If only. Reuben Cotter paying $71.
Cotter would chuck 100 on that.
Oh, you can bet player of the match. I tell a lie.
Oh.
So Cleary's the favourite at $6, so that's pretty good odds. $6 for Nathan Cleary. Munster, Tedesco, Cherry Evans, all at 7. Kalen Ponga at 10.
Oh.
Reuben Cotter is paying $34 for player of the match.
Oh, Connor,
Dane Gagai, 61.
Like,
there's some ridiculous bets here. Selwyn Cobbo, 101. What if he gets a hat trick? You know, I'm thinking placing just $1 bet on fucking like everyone in the bottom like 10. You're guaranteed.
There's your chance.
But the thing is, in these sort of things, it does obviously normally go to the halves. Like a Cleary gets a few try assists, the Tedesco. But I'm $6 for Cleary. That could be all of a sudden. We probably shouldn't have found out that we could bet on that, because I'm worried I might place a lot of bets on that. The other option's a good one, though.
This podcast has actually turned into a rehab facility for Josh. Do you know, just sorting out through his addiction of betting.
Yeah. Okay, should we get into this combined team?
Yeah, let's do it, mate. Let's do it.
I felt like for the Knights Cowboys Warriors one, it was quite easy. There was a few ones we were like debating, but I don't know if this will be. Sometimes you think, oh, there's going to be debate, but sometimes it's just obviously we do two beats one, so we would hope that two of us. Imagine if we do centers and all three of us have picked someone different or something. That would be the punishing. But fullback, I think it should be 3-zip, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully.
Tedesco.
Yeah, it's got to be Tedesco.
Even if Turbo was at fullback instead of Tedesco, I think Liam would probably still go Teddy, to be honest. But yeah, Pong is the fourth player of the match candidate. Like, that's ridiculous. He's not had a great. Obviously, Teddy, I wouldn't say set the world alight this season, but an Origin captain. He's done so many clutch things for New South Wales in the past. You almost had to pick him when they said Turbo or him. So I think the fullback's a good option. Should we do the two wingers or should we do the first winger? Then what do you guys reckon?
I reckon we get the two wingers out the way and then just build like a team like that.
Yeah, sounds good. So
just give your two wingers, Liam.
Oh, yeah. Does it matter what numbers or?
No, just give me your two.
I've gone, unfortunately, but I've gone Brian To'o and Daniel Tupou. My two wingers. I've gone both NSW wingers. And I'm sorry, Cotter, I've betrayed us.
Don't worry, Liam, because I also went Brian To'o and Daniel Tupou.
This is going to be the saddest. Like, I almost thought when I was doing it, I'm like, will we even fight or argue over any of these? You know, like, they seem quite straightforward, but I wonder when we get to the end when there's a few more Cowboys involved, if that's going to change it a bit. But so we've got Tedesco, we've got is To'o at 2 or 5? I don't know. To'o at 5 and Tupou at 2. We'll just say, whatever. The two centers. This will be interesting. Connor,
what do you got?
Are you backing both of them?
This is where the Queens comes in, boys.
Yeah,
I've got Valentine Holmes and Dane Gagai.
Oh, Connor, I'll back one of those. I've got Valentine Holmes, mate, but I've had to go Jack Whiten.
Wow.
Over Dane
Gagai. I thought Gagai was Liam's 100% vote.
I'm sorry. Dane Gagai hasn't. He's performed well, but he's just really inconsistent this year, and I don't know if he'll pull through in the Origin series. Plus, Jack White's an amazing season so far with the Raiders.
You're watching too many Knights games, mate. You got to start watching some Queensland games. It's super Queensland.
He is ridiculous. Gagai was my first selection for this, and it was between Holmes or I just took Whiten off completely because I thought he's probably not going to play centre anyway, and he's not really tested there that much. So unfortunately, I've gone with Holmes and Gagai. Holmes is having such a good season, and Gagai and Origin, I thought that's a good combination. The funny thing is that was it like 2 years ago when you guys had like Capewell and the Hammer in the centres, and everyone was like, "What is that centre partnership?" And now you guys have the two best out of the four that we've gone with. So we've got Tedesco, Tupou, Holmes, Gagai, To'o for our back five. So
it's looking good.
Pretty fair split so far. The halves though, this could be interesting.
Should we just get halfback straight out of the way?
Yeah.
Cleary, right? Everyone's going Cleary.
To be fair, it's closer than like I thought. Like last year, I would Cleary 100%, and Cleary obviously won the grand final. But I've been really impressed with Cherry Evans this season, and normally with Origin, I don't really fear him.
Yeah.
Much with this season, this time around, I'm actually going to fear him and worry about he could kick us out of a game, but so could Cleary, and I think Cleary provides a bit more upside. So yeah, halfback Cleary.
100%, mate.
I'm going to keep it 100. I don't really think there's that much debate for the 5'8" position. But Luai's shocking this year, in my opinion. I mean, he's playing outside inside good players, but I don't think he's been anywhere near the level that Cameron Munster's been at this year.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, 100%. Got to agree with you.
And it's like one of those things where I don't even think Luai should be in the team. But the issue is, well, it's not an issue. It's just they've played together so long, they think, oh, Luai Cleary, it's a good partnership. But I really worry about his kicking game. I suppose you could say similar to Munster, but Luai's kicking game, there was a game I watched a couple of rounds ago where he kicked like 4 dead, like just easy grubber kicks, kicked 4 dead, and puts a lot of pressure on Cleary to have to kick all the time. But so yeah, Munster and Cleary in the halves, that's pretty good lineup there. Cherry Evans, captain, misses out.
It's all right. It's all right. All right. Are we moving on to our prop position?
Yeah. Go to the prop. Should we just do both of our props?
Both our props?
Yep.
Okay, go on then.
Now I've gone one from New South Wales and one from Queensland. I've got an even split here. From New South Wales, I've got Payne Haas. Obviously, I think he's probably he is one of the best props in the game that we have. Is he worth $1 million? Now that's another question for another podcast. And the second one is Josh Papali from the Queensland. I think he's a legend in Queensland, so you just got to get him in there.
Yeah, I've gone. So you go, Connor. You go.
I've gone exactly the same again.
Oh, interesting. I did Payne, and then I was like between Tino or Papali, and I think Tino's been so good for the Titans this year. I actually gave him the nod ahead. But to be honest, Papali's been amazing for my super coach, so I didn't really care either way, to be honest. But I just thought Tino could, sort of like Cotter, could play like 50 to 60 minutes in an Origin game, where Papali, he'll give you 40 insane minutes, where I sort of value that. But yeah, so we've got the props. Hooker, Damien Cook.
Yep, I've gone with Damien Cook. Yep, he's
I went with Ben Hunt.
Yep.
He's top him right now. He's having a mean season in a pretty terrible Dragons side. He's been watching the Dragons play the Cowboys this week. I'm actually pretty nervous about him. I hope he doesn't really wash up too well after Origin.
Yeah, Hooker's definitely his best position. I think obviously he's always been in the halves because of the NRL level, but I just went Damien Cook because it's like tried and trusted. But if it was Harry Grunt and Cook, that would be a different story. I think I'd go Grunt over Cook 100%. And Cook has been amazing in some games, got a few tries against the shitter teams, but then against the better teams, he sort of hasn't run as much and stuff. But so Cook gets selected there, but I think Ben Hunt's been really good this season.
Yeah, 100%. Moving on to our second rows, who have we got, Josh?
I've gone with a mixed as well. This was a bit of a tough one. I wanted to put Kurt Capewell in, but this season he's been quite injury prone and hasn't really played that much. So I went with Cameron Murray and Felice Kafusi. Just Kafusi because of his experience in the Origin arena, and he's played every game this season for the Storm and being good. And then also Cameron Murray just because it's Cameron Murray. But I am worried about him injury-wise, Cameron Murray.
Well, Josh, I've gone the exactly same. So, you're right. There's not much argument between these teams.
We're going to have to start asking me first because I've legit got to...
It looks bad, yeah.
all right. Connor, what have you got for luck? We'll go to you first.
Oh, this is not even a debate. Reuben Cotter.
Yikes. Wow.
I might get a bit of slander for that one, but I give him the nod over Isaiah Yeo.
Have you got Josh?
I think I had to go with Yo just because how well he started the season. He has dropped off a little bit in the last few rounds, but I think the connection that he has with these Penrith players and with this New South Wales side in general, just his ball playing and stuff, and that he sort of reminds me of a better version of Simon Mannering. But I could see why you'd go Cotter as well, but I've gone Yo slightly.
Wait, Liam.
Yeah.
Can I say something before you make your pick?
Yes. Go ahead.
Can Isaiah Yeo run 60 meters and score under the black dot?
Well, I'm afraid to disappoint one of you. I've gone Isaiah
Oh,
Yo. I think he's had a better season than Ruben Cotter, and Isaiah Yo started out the season so well, and I think he's going to perform exceptional in Origin. So
Robs.
I'm a bit, to be honest, he's probably one of the players I'm a bit nervous about versing up against Queensland. So yeah, sorry Connor, I'm sorry to disappoint you.
If Cotter was proper, I'd put him in like probably the first pick, but just I think Isaiah Yo's probably sort of like Cleary level almost that you have to do it. We only have around 5 more minutes, so we'll maybe just go through. We'll do 4 at a time. Just do our whole bench. So
Yeah.
Connor, you can go first, or your whole bench.
Okay, at 14, I have Harry Grant. I think that kind of explains itself. Don't really have to explain that. At 15, I've gone Liam Martin. Another
I'm 2 from 2 with you right now.
Yep.
Yeah. And then at 16, I've gone Patrick Carrigan. He's having a season, so had to chuck there. And then at 17, I've obviously gone the wonder kid, Jeremiah Nanai. And then with the thing where you could pick one utility to put at 18th man, and I went Murray Taulangi from the Cowboys.
Boom.
Wow.
Have you got any changes, Liam?
I've got 2 changes. I've gone through. I've got the same 3 as you, Connor. I've gone Liam Martin at 15, Patrick Carrigan at 16, Jeremiah Nanai, the wonder kid at 17. But at 14, I've got Stephen Crichton. And at 18, I've gone Nico Hines.
Okay, so we're gonna have to do some maths here because I've got Harry Grant, Liam Martin, RCG, Nanai. I thought we just had to because he's been on the podcast. I felt like we had to. And then 18, I went Hines. So I don't really know how that's going to make our team. So Grant's a definite, Martin's a definite.
Grant, Martin,
Carrigan.
Patrick and Carrigan, because me and Connor both got him. Jeremiah Nanai, and then Hines.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And Hines.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. And finally, coach. I think surely it has to be Filler.
Yeah, it's got to
be.
Yeah.
Until Slater's been it'll be interesting to see. That's one of the big storylines, I think, is does coaching really matter? Like, he's never coached before. Will it be, does it actually matter? Is it just you need to be a man manager, or is it going to be, is Fittler going to be too smart, or is he overthought it a bit too much as well, Fittler? That's another worry. But we'll be live streaming tomorrow night for that. No. No, we will do a hit up live stream soon for a watch along one time on Instagram, just not tomorrow night. Sorry, guys.
We might do a one for game 2 since me and Josh will be together.
Yeah, that could be a good idea.
Yeah.
It'll just end up being all our friends watching it, but all our family coming on it, but it could be a good idea. And Matty Q 141 as well.
Yeah, gotta get that shout out.
And Rosie. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. It's been good because I think we've had like our last 10 episodes have probably been interviews, maybe last 5. The last time it's just been us 3 was that game show, and that feels like it's been ages since then.
Oh,
and it's good that we've just had a chat. Normally it's a game show or something, and this is back to our roots. Our first ever episode, we just talked for like an hour of what the first round was going to be. So it's been fun just to chat with you guys for once and not be scared of the guest and be nervous.
It has been. And also, there's a bit of a milestone coming up for the Hit Up Rugby League podcast. We're coming up to our 50th episode soon, so we're going to be planning something big, and make sure to tune in and see what we've got for some content.
What are your thoughts on the 50th? We have a few minutes. What are your guys' thoughts on what we're going to do for the 50th episode? It has to be either a big interview or something big. What do you guys reckon?
You know, I think Josh, we just gotta leave it in suspense. I think we've got a few ideas in the mix between us, and could be a big interview. It could be something completely different. You never know. So I think we've got a few ideas between us. You guys have given some ideas, and I think we'll just wait and see how it goes.
Sweet, awesome. See you, Liam. See you guys.
Later, guys.